good day to you. I hope you're having a good one. Today is a big day for my husband and I. We are headed to Kelowna to get our car checked out, but that's not the reason why it's big. We have our second appointment with the fertility specialist today, and basically, as I've mentioned in one of my previous videos, the plan for us is to try to conceive naturally for 6 months and then try using the IVF method. So we are coming to the end of our 6 months, unfortunately, so we're starting to plan ahead for the next step, and we're going to get some details today. So I have a couple of questions myself for that. So what I'm going to be asking is, what does the process look like moving forward for us? What is the time frame? And I've heard that exercise and caffeine can make a difference with conception and implantation, so I just want to hear from the specialist on what her thoughts on that are. So I will keep you posted with how the day goes, and until then. It is almost appointment time. We are good to go. We are in a rental car today from Acura. Just getting the computer set up here for our online appointment, and then it's go time. Sam figured out a better way to set up the computer. Wow, so we went in all fun and games, Sam and I, just really excited about the appointment, as thinking about the future and creating a baby is really exciting, but now that it's over, I'm feeling very overwhelmed. For the last 6 months, Sam and I have been trying to create a baby the old-fashioned way, and been very diligent at tracking and doing the things that I'm supposed to do based on my Google searches, like limit caffeine and careful with exercise and eat really well, take the supplementation that I'm supposed to take, and you know, it hasn't happened yet, which I'm told isn't abnormal, but at the same time it hurts. So our appointment today was very informative. It's talking about the next step, which is exciting, but when something new happens, I mean, decisions need to be made, and I find that that process is really overwhelming. So based on doctor recommendation, based on a couple of factors in my life, my age being one of the predominant factors, which is 37, and my breast cancer history, and that I'm gonna need to go back on my hormone medication. She did recommend at this point advancing our efforts in some way, doing some sort of assistance to provoke some change and get something working. Before I say more, I do want to interject here and say that any of the numbers that I throw out are just what I heard from my fertility specialist, and I'm not sure where she gets her numbers from, so I'm not saying that these are the stats for every person that's going through this situation. It's just in her experience and in my journey. So please don't quote me on it, because everybody's journey is completely different. So a couple of options that she mentioned were IUI, which I tried to take notes, honestly, and listen at the same time, and I didn't get it all down, but it was basically a support, a hormone augmentation, in which it would really support my body in creating a good lining. And then Sam would need to go in and provide a sperm sample, and then at the ovulation, at the time of ovulation, I would go into the clinic and they would inject the sperm right into the uterus, giving the egg and the sperm the absolute best chance of meeting each other. And she said that that increased the chances, based on what she knew, by about 15%. And the other option that we are very thankful to have is to do an embryo transfer. So that's kind of the big guns, the big thing. And it's really overwhelming because we only have a certain amount of embryos to use. Once they're used, you know, they're gone, and at that point I will be older. We created our embryos when I was 34. So it's a really daunting thing for me. It's so much pressure to choose to use one of those little guys. Yeah. She said the success rate for that is a lot better. Implantation success rate is about 60% in her practice, and she said a live birth percent rate is about 40%. So there is a 20% miscarriage rate in there. And I know in general that's it's out there. It happens a lot more than we may know, and I'm learning about now. But a 40% success rate seems pretty good. That option is more money compared to the IUI, which makes more sense. There's more medication and more procedures that need to be done. But yeah, that I'm going to stop rambling now. That is what I learned today. I'm feeling, as time passes, I'm starting to feel a little bit more at peace, a little bit less teary, and once again excited for the future. I'm about 1 week now out from finding out if our current last cycle worked, trying naturally, so my fingers are crossed for that. Maybe we won't need to go down this route quite yet, but that's where we're at now. So if you'd like to join along with me for what comes next, hit subscribe. If you found this interesting, hit like, and I thank you for being here with me on this journey. It is an emotional one, and I appreciate your support. So I wish you the most wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.